This is iFIBER 1 News. Here are today's top stories.
The National Women's March returns to Wenatchee on Saturday, 2 years after drawing about 1,700 people downtown.
The Columbia Basin Cancer Foundation in Moses Lake is holding its 10th annual Country Sweethearts Cancer Benefit Auction on February 2nd.
Wednesday, the Columbia Basin was home to two unified basketball games, Othello at Moses Lake and Wenatchee at Ephrata.
Since starting league play on January 2nd in Pasco, the Wenatchee Valley College Lady Knights were a perfect 3-0.
From the iFIBER 1 newsroom, this is iFIBER 1 News. And it starts now.
The National Women's March returns to Wenatchee on Saturday, 2 years after drawing about 1,700 people downtown in a progressive response to the election of Donald Trump.
I think it's very important for women who have been pushed down for so long to see that we can come together and we can make a difference, and our voices do need to be heard.
Felicia Rodriguez, an outreach specialist with Wenatchee's Planned Parenthood office, is one of half a dozen scheduled speakers at the event, shining a light on issues from reproductive rights to transgender equality, from environmental justice to homelessness. YWCA Director Jenny Pratt plans to speak on that topic. YWCA Landlord Liaison Dusty Mahoney says the Wenatchee Valley's homeless population of more than 550 people is the second highest per capita in the state, exceeded only by Seattle. The situation hits homeless women hard.
There's a lot of needs that women have that are not necessarily held by men, and so a lot of times when donations are being made, people aren't necessarily donating feminine hygiene products. They aren't necessarily donating bras. But these are still things that women need.
It's not just local activists. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson says he too will appear at the march. Presentations start at 11 a.m. Saturday in Wenatchee's Memorial Park, and marchers then proceed on Chelan Avenue to 2nd Street and make a loop back to the park on Wenatchee Avenue and Kittitas Avenue.
I just think it's really important that if people feel inclined to show up, be peaceful, bring their signs, have a good time, make their voices heard. Yeah, because it matters.
Jefferson Robbins, iFIBER 1 News.
This segment is brought to you by
Change doesn't have to be complicated. With a low-profile microwave hood combination that's ready to install right out of the box. It fits in the same space as your under-cabinet hood, so you can get your microwave off the countertop and make space for the routines worth keeping. The low-profile microwave hood combination, from the #1 selling appliance brand in the USA.
Whirlpool Appliances, now available at more furniture in Ephrata. Cancer kills, and that's why the Columbia Basin Cancer Foundation in Moses Lake is holding its 10th annual Country Sweethearts Cancer Benefit Auction on February 2nd. The local cancer foundation offers critical, emotional, and financial support to cancer patients. Since its inception in 2010, the benefit auction has raised over $617,000, which has been invested back into the foundation. Tickets and tables for the event can be purchased on the foundation's website at columbiabasincancerfoundation.org. Corporate sponsorship and auction donation forms can be downloaded from the site as well. This year's benefit auction and dinner will happen in the commercial building at the Grant County Fairgrounds. I'm Sean Goggins for iFIBER 1 News. This segment is brought to you by
Your taste buds bored? Well, then bring them to Jay's Teriyaki. Not only does Jay's have a variety of teriyaki dishes, they also offer mouth-watering salads and sides. Call Jay's 509-764-5155. Jay's Teriyaki, located at 123 East Broadway in Moses Lake, because it's all in the sauce.
Wednesday, the Columbia Basin was home to two unified basketball games, Othello at Moses Lake and Wenatchee at Ephrata. Unified Basketball is a Special Olympics program and creates opportunities for students who normally wouldn't be able to play sports to participate. It's an exciting game day experience with students and fans flooding the stands while cheerleaders and the bands play. Those who get to play love to participate, and helpers enter the floor with them to ensure they get the maximum opportunities to take shots and play. Gail Dow has been a special education teacher for Ephrata High School for 10 years now, and Unified Sports have been a part of Ephrata Athletics for 5 years. Dow says she's definitely noticed a difference before and after the introduction of Unified Sports.
I see total inclusion. The general ed kids are including our kids now. They're more aware. They're building friendships. They now are going outside, going to proms, going to dinners, going to movies with the kids, on Friday nights.
Unified basketball will continue through February. I'm Adam Chikoski for iFIBER 1 Sports.
Since starting league play on January 2nd in Pasco, the Wenatchee Valley College Lady Knights were a perfect 3-0 and looking to stay unblemished on Wednesday night at home against the visiting North Idaho Cardinals from Coeur d'Alene. WVC bolted out of the starting gate quickly with a basket only seconds after winning the opening tip and continued to put up points through the game's first 10 minutes thanks in part to freshman forward Carrie-Ann Kunkel's efforts. But the Cardinals were flying high from behind the three-point line in the first quarter and more than matched the Lady Knights on offense to take a 23-21 lead at the conclusion of the initial stanza. In the second quarter, however, Wenatchee's defense showed its mettle, allowing North Idaho a total of just 8 points, while first-year guards Kiara Steen and Chastity Spady started piling up buckets, helping the Lady Knights outscore the Cardinals as part of a 16-2 run in the final 4 minutes of the first half to build a double-digit lead for WVC by halftime. North Idaho did their best to get unstuck as the third quarter began, but WVC remained rigid defensively and got some great work on both sides of the ball from sophomore guard Ashlyn Burgess, as well as Steen, who continued to sparkle on the hardwoods en route to her game-high 20 points to go along with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal as the Lady Knights increased their lead to 15 points at the end of 30 minutes. The Cardinals made a valiant push of resurgence in the final frame of regulation, guided by freshman forward Heidi Selman's team-best 19 points, but their efforts only made the game's outcome look more respectable as Wenatchee's big second quarter and steady second-half play produced a 78-69 victory. Ashlyn Burgess finished with 14 points for WVC, and Carrie-Ann Kunkel had 13. The win kept the Lady Knights perfect in NWAC play on the season at 4-0, as well as in a tie for first place in the East region with rival Big Bend, who Wenatchee will play next Wednesday in their gym after heading on the road to take on Spokane on Saturday and Yakima on Monday. Reporting for iFIBER 1 Sports, I'm Chris Hansen.
This is iFIBER 1 News. For more information on these stories and other news, visit us online at iFiber1.com or check us out on Facebook.